A rather beautiful early autumn day in the fragrant cathedral city of Canterbury. People enjoying themselves in the sunshine. So let's make life a little bit more miserable for them by asking them about bloody Brexit.
I want everybody to know there are no circumstances in which I will ask Brussels to delay. We're leaving on the 31st of October, no ifs or buts.
Were you in favour of remaining or leaving?
I only just about voted to leave by a fraction.
It's exactly the same as me.
Because I strongly wanted to remain for lots of reasons, but I don't like the way the European Parliament has been centralising power.
Yeah. Well, do you think Boris Johnson was right to suspend Parliament in the manner he did?
No, I don't think he was right. I understand he was feeling outmanoeuvred by the opposition and by his own people in his party who weren't in favour of his no-deal Brexit position. But I think as a general principle it was actually cowardice by him, and he should have just stood by what he wanted to do and just risked that, because I think he set up a precedent now that's actually quite dangerous.
Remain.
You remain. And do you think Boris Johnson was right or wrong to have suspended Parliament?
Wrong.
Why?
Because I think he's trying to be underhand and dishonest, and he's just started.
Boris?
Yeah, I know.
What do you think about Boris Johnson proroguing Parliament? Do you think that was a good idea or a bad idea?
Well, I think it was a good idea. I think he wants to get the matter resolved.
Do you not think it was unprincipled and undemocratic?
Not particularly, no.
Well, I commissioned an opinion poll from the company Find Out Now, and asking just two questions of people. Very simple. Are you in favour of leaving or remaining? And the second question, do you think Boris Johnson was right to suspend Parliament? 7,000 people randomly selected took part, and we got the answers. Now, without much of a doubt, the thesis held up, and the thesis was that basically this isn't about principle, it's not about democracy, it's not about the flouting of democratic rules, it's about whether you think we should remain or leave. And indeed, only 9% of those who voted leave thought that Boris Johnson was wrong to have prorogued Parliament. Only 3% of those who voted remain were in favour of Boris Johnson having suspended Parliament. So there you do have it, that actually the thing which determines how you think on these issues isn't an enormous principle and a question of morality and of constitution. It's a question of whether you want to be in or out, basically. What way did you guys vote? Did you vote Remain or Leave?
I voted Remain, but I'd definitely vote Leave now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're now in favour of Leave?
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah, and why is that?
I really read up about the EU, more so than I did before, and I realised I don't want to be part of an institution that's not actually democratic itself. It was a good idea, and up to something like 1990 with the Maastricht Treaty, where it was an economic community, that was fantastic. Right. But political,
Maastricht is when it started.
Close to political union, I don't think is a good idea at all. I mean, the idea of kind of like national sovereignty being eroded, I don't like that idea at all.
Have you ever been on a BBC programme talking about Brexit?
I've not, no.
This is bizarre because, of course, the BBC has on people who voted Leave and now want to Remain.
Yes.
But they never have someone
have the opposite.
They never have the opposite. Remain or Leave?
I voted to Remain, but I'm now all about Leave.
This is remarkable. So many people have saying this to us today. This is
that's good to hear.
Well, two. This is the town of idiosyncrasies. We found a French person who voted to leave. Why did you vote Leave?
I don't believe in European politicians, and I found the European project to be quite dangerous.
Yeah.
On one train track, and it's not going anywhere else than where the plan is.
Right.
It won't evolve.
You can't stop it.
No, you can't stop it. No.
We like this man. Do you think Boris Johnson was right or wrong to have suspended Parliament?
I think he was rolling the dice. I think he didn't sort of foresee what was going to happen with Jeremy Corbyn just completely throwing in obfuscating, can't say the word, Parliament. Basically, there they are for 2 years saying that they wanted democracy, and when they were given the opportunity, they're playing some sort of an irritating game where they're just basically preventing A, democratic referendum, and B, actual democracy occurring in Parliament. So Parliament's now defunct, really.
Yeah. In a way, given the results from Find Out Now, doesn't it come down to this? That actually there were two perfectly noble, decent expressions of sovereignty which have come up against each other. There's the sovereignty of Parliament, which we all believe in, but there's also the sovereignty of the British people who made that vote 3 and a bit years ago to leave the European Union. And both are valid expressions of sovereignty and both must be respected, but they're both in conflict. So what can you do? Meantime, what the hell is going to happen next? Your guess is as good as mine, frankly. My suspicion, and it's been my suspicion all along, is that the elite, the institutions of our country would never let us leave the European Union. That's what my book was about. It's what I think now. My suspicion is we won't be leaving.